Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Saturday, January 20th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with a significant injury update on WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. The injury Rollins sustained during his title defense last Monday against Jinder Mahal has been determined to be a torn MCL and a partially torn meniscus, according to a report from Fightful. This would be a serious injury that could potentially keep Rollins out of the ring for an extended period of time, although that has not been confirmed. The champion was pulled from this weekend's house shows and replaced by Randy Orton. We will keep you updated on how this injury may affect Rollins and any plans for the World Championship going forward. WWE Smackdown was presented live last night on Fox from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. In the closing segment of the show, after Randy Orton pinned Solo Sikoa following an RKO, a brawl ensued involving Orton, Sikoa, AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Reigns took out Orton with a Superman punch, then signed his contract for the fatal four-way title match at the Royal Rumble, and then took an RKO from Orton to end the show. In the opening segment, Knight, Styles, and Orton had all signed their contracts for the four-way, followed by a brawl between Styles and Knight. Later in the evening, Styles and Knight clashed in the ring, with Knight winning by disqualification after he was attacked by Solo Sikoa. Sikoa then attacked Styles for good measure as well.
Must be addressed. Oh, watch out! Speaking of Solo!
Oh, Samoan spike to LA Knight!
The diversion was created by Jimmy Uso in the entrance, and the havoc is being wreaked by the tribal heir.
Coming out to decimate Styles and LA Knight. Styles across the steel steps.
Solo Sikoa, the street champ, the enforcer of the bloodline, doing Roman's bidding.
Logan Paul was a guest on the Kevin Owens show and wound up brawling with Owens, eventually laying him out to end the segment.
Oh, the prize fighter taking Logan off his feet.
And here we go, a Royal Rumble preview. And Logan Paul hightailing it out of the ring.
KO rapid to the outside they go, and there's the right hand.
The exposed broken hand. Kevin Owens removed the protective cast from his hand a few moments ago and will regret it.
Butch returned to his former name of Pete Dunne to team with old partner Tyler Bate as British Strong Style, winning their match against Pretty Deadly. In other results, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter retained the women's tag team title over Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, and Legado del Fantasma beat the LWO in a six-man tag. AEW also presented Rampage last night, featuring matches taped last Wednesday night in North Charleston, South Carolina. In the main event, Darby Allin defeated Jeff Hardy in Hardy's first singles match since September. Chris Jericho appeared in the opening match, defeating Matt Sydal. Jericho was attacked after the match by Konosuke Takeshita.
Chris Jericho. Oh, look at Don. He's back here at the desk.
Is it? That's Takeshita.
Konosuke Takeshita. The Alpha, as Don Callis has dubbed him. Attacking Jericho at the top of the ramp.
And look at that coward. The gall, the cowardice of Don Callis. As an observer, you see Christopher. Oh, goodness!
In other results, Chris Statlander beat Queen Aminata, and Penta El Zero Miedo defeated Anthony Henry. And we close with an update on Austin Theory. Theory suffered a concussion during his match against Carmelo Hayes on the January 13th episode of SmackDown, according to a report in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. The match between Theory and Hayes was abruptly stopped by the referee after the two wrestlers' heads collided in the corner. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the wrestling news. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.